All right, so hopefully you got started on this one. Gives you a little hint in the directions. It says build a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral is a four-sided shape. So when we're all done, we should have a four-sided shape of some sort. Key here is when it says around B, make sure you're anchored on B. 90 degrees is pretty easy because the lines will just line up there. That would be a 90-degree turn. So that would be just right there. 180 would be just another 90 degrees, which would bring us over here. And then 270 would be another 90 degrees, which would just complete the shape. So 4 triangles there. You can see the quadrilateral, the four-sided shape that it makes with the 90-degree turn, the 180, and the 270. So there should be your shape anchored around B. If you were anchored around A or C, it'd look a little bit different. Make sure you watch what that anchor point is. All right, we are going to do more rotating here, so if you'd like a piece of tracing paper, please grab that. All right, rotate CD, so I'm going to draw a CD on here. Haven't done much rotating with an entire segment. 180 degrees around point D, so anchor point D and give it a 180-degree spin. So 180 should just be the opposite direction. Line will continue. Mark it. Play a little connect the dots. And it says label that as C all the way to A. So the new C becomes A. So I'm going to label that A. Okay, why don't you try number 2? Different anchor point now. Still wants 180 degrees. Anchoring on E. So I'll give you a second to try that. Anchor on E. Again, your anchor point is super important. Still 180 degree spin, so the opposite direction of that. And it says to label C as B, so C went to this side, and D as F. So I'm going to label those two. So again, I just put my anchor point down and I just spin the paper. How would you describe those two lines? Parallel. Yeah, we're actually going to talk more about that tomorrow. Parallel lines. Question number 3. Top of the next page. Rotate segment CD 180 around the midpoint G. See if you can do that one. Anchor at G. Spin at 180. Sienna, what do you think? Yeah, it's going to be the same spot. Only thing that's changing is where the letters are. Whoops. Anchor at G, spin 180. Same spot, the C and the D just switch. 180 degrees, so no new line to draw. They would just switch locations. So we spun all 3 of those 180 degrees. So if you had to describe what's happening when you spin them 180 degrees, what is the most important thing to remember? What's going to be the most important thing to determine where that line moves? Yeah, I mean, they're all 180 degrees. So what made them different? What? Why? Anchor points, right? The anchor point is super important. Length of the line isn't changing. Shape isn't changing. It's still a line. Location is because of the anchor point. So we're going to try this. Are you ready here? I'm going to give you a couple minutes. Can you find... Nice, it is the same length there. It's the same length as CD. Can you find an anchor point that I can spin to get CD to move up here? Can you find the anchor point? Couple of you have it. Ian, where's it at? How about from this point? Where's it at? 3 to the right. That's pretty good. That's it right there. Does not matter if it's 180 clockwise or counterclockwise. 180 will spin the opposite direction. All right, last one we're going to look at, page 66. It says you can use rigid transformations to build these shapes. We have to describe it. Now there are more than one way to get there. As long as the shape gets to be the same, that's all that matters. So we're at ABC, so go ahead and trace that somewhere. And it wants us to get over here. So I got to describe how to get there. Okay, well, what I notice is my 90-degree angle is B. What's the 90-degree angle on this one? D, right? Up in the right-hand corner. So my first step is going to be move or slide B to D. So I'm sliding this over here. Now, which way am I going to have to rotate that to get it to cover that triangle? How far is that spin? 90 degrees, exactly right. So I'm sliding it, and I'm rotating 90 degrees clockwise around D. I got to mention probably what my pivot point is there. Okay, why don't you try 2 and 3? Same type of question. Starting with triangle ABC. See if you can get to those other ones. 2 and 3 there. Try those. All right, let's try it together now. Hopefully you got a good start anyway. Othniel, what do you got for 2? Slide B to F. All right, I like that. Both of them are 90-degree angles. Okay, now what? Around 180 degrees. Do I have to say the direction? Nope. Rotate 180 degrees around F. You do not have to say clockwise or counterclockwise on 180. Very good. Parker, what do you got for 3? All right, so do you see a 90-degree angle down here?
Yeah.
What letter?
H.
So let's slide B to H. Okay, B to H will look like this. Now how am I going to get it to cover that triangle? Lily? Rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. Could also say 270, I suppose, the other way. Rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise around H. Question number 4. Does AC, CE, GE, and AG all have the same length? Ian?
Yes.
Why? All the same triangle. Remember what the longest part of the triangle is called? Starts with an H. Longest part of the triangle is called the, maybe you haven't heard of it. It's called the hypotenuse. That is the longest side of a triangle. Hypotenuse. Yeah, it's the same triangle. Why are they all the same length? Well, it's the same triangle. It's just rotated all the way around. So this piece is always the same because the triangle is the exact same size, exact same shape. Longest part of the triangle, the hypotenuse, are all the same. One thing I want to mention on a summary. This is a hexagon, 6-sided shape. Obviously spinning all the way around is 360 degrees. But if I just wanted one of these segments, how many degrees is one of those? Why? Yeah, there's 6 equal parts here. 360 divided by 6. Every one would be 60. That is correct. Every one would be 60. All right, take a look at your homework then, starting on 68. For the first couple, those are not multiple choice. Don't just circle A, B, or C. Just do what it tells you, please. 3, you're describing what's happening. I think we can handle that. Same thing with 3B. And 4. Do you agree? So that's yes or no and why. Yes or no and why for number 4. So 4 questions for tomorrow.